never let you go.
Oh, Cagesiders, you caught us whispering sweet nothings in each other's ears.
Oh, hello.
Good morning, good
Come in here. Let's
afternoon.
make it an orgy.
Get over here. Come on.
Hello.
There's plenty of stuff to tug on here at Cageside Live.
I love that you call it that, tug.
I don't know where that came from. It's not like all my life I've been calling it tug.
Really? You just broke it out the one time?
It seemed like that would be what it seemed like that was what Bray was doing for Roman. It wasn't a full-on hand job. It was just a tug. He was just giving it a little love tug.
You do it just to pop the general.
Well, now it's going into my repertoire. I'm going to use it everywhere. I'm going to use it on job interviews.
Yes.
Meeting chicks. I'm going to talk about tugging. Talking about tugging.
What's up?
Oh, dear. How are you?
I keep trying to say, what's up, Sean? And you're just like, oh, dear. How are you?
Yeah, I'm a little depressed. I told you. I don't know why. It's just...
Why? It makes me sad that you're depressed.
It's winter doldrums. And,
is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm in a pretty good mood. The Bears won last night.
A thriller.
My Chicago Bears finally won one of those close games, and it was fun. It was good to watch. Jay Cutler played well. The team, despite massive injuries, held up well, although we were playing a team that also has massive injuries.
Who doesn't have massive injuries? Jesus, the NFL's a bloodbath. It's like the WWE.
I'm telling this to a Steeler fan.
There's bodies all over the place.
And WWE's injured, and
even the Patriots lost somebody this week. Finally,
it's a good segue. Let me get to it. The Bears overcame injury. They adapted and got better.
They like to overcome.
The WWE did not adapt. In fact, they decided the best thing is to double down on their formulaic, oh man. What did you think of the show? We're here to talk about Raw.
It was okay. I mean, I thought it was, in a vacuum, it was an okay show. I mean, there was some good wrestling, but I have massive problems with with what you said, with how they chose to respond to Crisis. I'm not interested. That's why I'm depressed. That's why I'm depressed about WWE wrestling, is because I'm not interested in what they're doing. And 24 hours ago, that was totally not the case. I was like really into it. I was, the future seemed wide open with possibilities, and now it's just.
People are like, well, this is. So when we get cynical, this is why.
Mm-hmm.
This is the example. It's literally 24 hours ago before Raw went on, or even 12 hours ago, whatever it was before Raw went on the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than 12 hours, but I'm bad at math, remember. So before Raw goes on the air, we're like, everything is awesome. And everything is so exciting. And then the delivery of it. And then it's, you see the tournament bracket, and you just immediately understand. And I don't know why. Like, I actually fought back against this. I saw a lot of people on Twitter were complaining about the bracket, were complaining about the matchups, were complaining about how it was laid out. And I was like, well, this, again, it felt like, well, they can't win. Like, there's like, well, these matches don't feel important. And I'm like, what? They're tournament matches to win a title. The title. Every match, by default, is extremely important. Like, yeah, but they're not new matchups. They're not fresh feuds because everyone works with everyone else. So, okay, well, that's always going to be a problem. So, if you're looking at that, you just check out. You might as well just exit, right? But it's at the same time, I understand the complaint, because it's very clear who is going to win in each little subsection. The Final Four essentially is basically decided as soon as you looked at the bracket. You knew. And sure enough, the matchups are going exactly the way it looks like they would.
Yep. Yeah, that's the bracket telegraphs everything. There are two things that I'm intrigued about in that entire bracket of
Which
16 men, which are who wins Owens Ambrose, which because I still think there's some, you could go either way. I could make a case for either way. And does Dean or Roman turn heel? Which either could happen. I don't know. I guess if Owens wins, then we know Roman's not turning heel. Yeah.
are they doing the finals, or are they doing the semifinals and then the final at Survivor Series?
I think they have to because they haven't announced anything else. And I mean, I think you still got to get to what, like 7 matches to fill out a pay per view, and you're going to have a tag title match. You're going to have a Divas match. You're going to have whatever Taker Wyatt's ends up being.
Ugh.
You're going to, then you say 3 tournament matches. That's 6. And then I don't know, maybe Ziggler Breeze or something. I don't know. Well, maybe not. Maybe they could get, I mean, because I guess they're going to have Del Rio do something. Maybe they'll have the semis be. When would they be, though? They're not going to have the semis be on SmackDown. So
No, it would. I guess it would be Raw next.
It has to be on the pay per view, though. The quarterfinals will be Raw.
SmackDown unless they feel better about. Unless they feel better about, because next week they're going to do the second round. So if they do the second round early in the show, and then they end the show with the semifinals, and then they go off the air promoting Tune In Sunday to watch the final, and we'll know who the matchup is. So you'll have a full week of being able to promote the final match, as opposed to let's see who wins the tournament. There's still 3 matches left, that's probably what I would do.
I think I don't know what I would do, but I think what they'll do is they'll have the quarters on Raw. SmackDown will involve some sort of a tag match between the quarterfinalists where they'll tease all sorts of who's turning on who, and then we'll get the 3 matches on Sunday. Because I think they're gonna, whether or not they turn Ambrose or Reigns, they're gonna tease the shit out of it again. They already were.
Yes, and I guess we can talk about that.
If you make them partners on SmackDown in a Final 4 tag match, then you can tease that for that whole show. And then that's your intrigue tuned in Sunday to not only see who wins the title, but who turns.
Well, we could talk about...
Is the title's not going to main event, is it? Survivor Series?
You'd think it would.
On the 25th anniversary of Undertaker?
You'd think they're going to close. I suppose they could close with him, although we'll get to that and what an absolute disaster that segment was. But
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. What a piece of shit. Oh, my God. But it started really well. I thought the night started really well. Triple H cut an amazing promo, which he's want to do at times. He'll come out every now and again and it's like he's just motivated to do it because he can really. Triple H is a damn good promo when he wants to be. When he's not just,
when he's not talking every single week too. It kind of felt special. We haven't had. When's the last time he was out there without Stephanie?
Well, and it's
been a long time.
It also wasn't just a run down the card type of promo that they've been doing, a who, what, when, where, why kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was recruiting Roman Reigns to join the Authority. And, hey, man, before we chose Seth, we strongly considered you. And we really, you can avoid all this. We don't need to do any of this, bro. Like, I could just give you the title. You can be champ right now. Be my guy. And then everyone else can fight for the right to fight you. Doesn't that sound good? I know you're thinking about your daughter right now. Doesn't that sound good? And I thought it was great. Until Reigns, without hesitation, just said, I ain't like that. This is real life. I'll fight. And that was it. And Triple H is like, all right, back to the end of the line, which isn't true.
No.
But here's Big Show. Oh, boy. And I thought, this would have been really, really great if Roman Reigns had any sort of hint of subtlety in his performance. There's just no subtlety or nuance to the character at all. It's just brute force in your face. Like, I guess it makes sense for what the character is, that he would just immediately respond with, fuck no, I'm not selling out. You can eat a dick, which is basically what he said. He'd shove it up your ass. but it's just not. I talked about it on Twitter, and people were like immediately agreeing with me and going, it's not a very human response to just be so dead set in your I'm good way, right? Here's an example. If our bosses, okay, the people over me, came to you and said, hey, we're going to boot Geno and make you the guy, you'll get his salary, you'll get to run the whole show, you'll get all this and this. You just have to do this thing that you don't want to do, but this is everything that you get over it. Now, as much as I'd like to think that you love me and all this, and we work the gimmicks and all that, and you would immediately say, fuck no, Geno's my guy. You're a human being. There is a part of you that would sit there and go, well, it'd be better for my family to make more money, to be in a better position, to be running the show. It would be better for me in basically every way. I'd have to sell my buddy out. I'd have to sell out the dude who got me the job, the dude who helped me up, and the dude who got me to the position that I'm in now to be in a position to be able to do this. So that's what makes it interesting, is that you're then set up to make a decision. It's more to morally corrupt yourself to get ahead, which the world is run by psychopaths, because psychopaths are Seth Rollins. They make that decision. I don't care about anyone else's feelings. Success is for me to have. And you need that. I believe that. The zombie apocalypse goes down, we're going to need psychopaths. Those are the people who are going to save us. But it sets up, that's what makes it interesting, because it puts you in a position to where you have to decide this, right? I mean, that's the whole Batman series is good because they constantly put him in those positions, and though he always flirts with it, he always makes the right call. Roman Reigns never once acted like he was even considering it. He never once had a look on his face. That's where I wanted the subtlety. He never once looked like, fuck, it's actually he's right. Triple H is right. And Triple H was perfect. With his promo was so good because he did such a good job of laying it out and making it a real juicy offer and making it like, hey man, you don't have to do this. I'll take care of you. You can be my guy. And it's like, I just wish Roman Reigns could deliver the kind of performance where he'd sit there and without being just so over his character's so over the top. Every response is just so overdone, instead of just like a narrowing of the eyes to make it clear that, well, shit, maybe I should say yeah. Maybe this is the right decision. I wanted him to think about it. I wanted him to have a human response to it, right? I mean, that was my problem with this.
Well, this is a really awkward time for me to tell you, but yeah.
How long have you been waiting to say that? You fucking cocksucker.
I did accept an offer to take over the sites, and we wish you well in your future endeavors. No, I wonder if that's like they acknowledge his limitations as a performer, because even when they do this kind of shit with Cena, they'll sort of tease. Cena will tease that he might take it. They've done this a couple times with him. Where he's actually can act his way out of a paper bag and pretend that he's thinking about something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, he couldn't even like pause to process the information.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because another way you could do it is, which is how I think they would do it if they had Ambrose do it, maybe, or definitely Rollins, if they had shown Rollins being corrupted instead of going for the shock moment, would be you would take that offer and say you'll consider it. And then go talk to some other people. Maybe talk to your boy and say, hey, they came to me with this. We need to do something about it. That's where like really interesting stories come out of. Fuck you, this is real life isn't interesting. I don't know what that means. Why does he always says that shit about real life?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
I don't understand what it means either. And it's a really weird thing to say in pro wrestling.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that angle, yeah.
But yeah, and it's also, and he talked about in the promo, the real life promo about his every day I wake up and I'm going to go get it for you, baby girl, my 7-year-old daughter. I'm going to go out there and get it. Triple H could have called to that and said, you know what? You can get it. It's right here. I'll give it to you. You be my guy. Do the right thing for her. And then that adds another layer to it, to where it's, if you don't make this decision, you're making the wrong call for your daughter. And then should have said, are you worried about what they'll think? And point to the fans and go, you already know what they think. They don't love you anyway. Yep. They don't love you like I can love you, which is just would be such an insincere, shitty, heel, asshole thing to say. It would have been delicious. Would have been great, right? They don't care about you. And then you either force the fans to make a decision, which is now you are essentially, we are put in a place to where we go, either we prove them right or we prove them wrong. And I think maybe they didn't do it because they're worried we'd prove them right. We don't care. And we just do it. Join the Authority. That's actually what we want you to do. Do it for your daughter, Roman.
I mean, that's what I mean. I think I don't know England that well, but Manchester seemed to me like to be basically their version of a Chicago crowd. That was a bunch of smarky motherfuckers up there, I think. So I think last night you would have gotten that. I don't know if because he's weird. He gets different reactions different places. So, but I think that would have been brilliant to actually put it on him. And because that's another thing, you could do a really interesting story with the guy that bought in. Just because you buy in, you don't have to do the Rollins story where all of a sudden you're a smarmy heel. You could buy in and try to fight and still be a good guy within the system. That would be interesting. But again, I don't think they trust him to act that.
And we've seen him. He's done the greatest performance he's ever given is his response to the Rollins chair shot.
Right.
We know he can do this, at least in some settings. Rollins hits him with the chair. There's the immediate physical pain that registers on his face and he starts to collapse. But immediately after that, it's just a split second of that, so you'll notice it. And then you can just see his heart break without him saying anything. It's very clear that's what's just happened because he knows who hit him with the chair. And everything is shot and his whole world is fucked and everything's fucked now. And then he just collapses and dives into the bottom rope for comfort. It's like the greatest GIF. I see something new every time, and that's what makes it so good. His performance was so fucking good. Like, he got all of that across within the span of like 4 seconds. And so I know he can do it, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't do enough to make it interesting. They didn't, or it's their writing, or maybe they wrote him to not. You don't even consider this. You are incorruptible. You are not the guy who would do this, and that's your character, so therefore you would just say no immediately. Which maybe then it would be good if he is incorruptible and they've always tried and he never did it, and then pay that off later because he keeps getting fucked over. He keeps not winning because of it, which is a real thing. Again,
that's what's happened so far, yeah.
You know what I mean? The people who will fucking shit on you and step on you and just walk over you and they don't care how you feel, those people are the most successful kind of people. It's just how it works. So for him to never succeed then, that might be a good angle that they could take. For now, I just didn't like that, it's interesting to me, and that's my preference, when you force people to make decisions. Because that reveals character. It's very telling. So, I don't know. They could have forced us to make a decision, and they just didn't. I don't know. They expect us to cheer him because he didn't ever consider it. I don't know. I don't feel any more like cheering him today than I did yesterday.
Yeah, I still don't know. I mean, I think the best storytelling angle here is to turn him heel. I think that's what a lot of people want. I think you can still, that doesn't ruin him as a face down the line if Vince is set on him being the guy. He makes so much more sense to join the Authority than Ambrose does at this point. Ambrose's character buying in doesn't make a lick of sense because he's crazy and he hates them and he doesn't follow anybody.
Do you think they could revisit this in the final at Survivor Series and have Triple H help him win the title, and then they reveal that he actually did accept the offer?
Yeah, they could. I mean,
that it was a
absolutely.
plot to not that they plotted this to look like they didn't. I mean, that would be. Would you like that? Would that be okay?
Yeah, I think that would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck
You tell me
you.
to stop. Stop laughing at my response.
Stop laughing at my responses. Yeah, that would be more interesting to me than what the alternative, which is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really want them to
Watch them
go
just
with.
straight shoot it.
I want them to go with Owens, and they're not going to, and then I'm going to be a little Mark who's upset. So
Watch them just straight shoot it, and just everything is straight, and there's distraction roll ups all over the fucking place, and then there's dudes complaining about Mex America, and then there's a dude taking a selfie, and then another roll up, and then another distraction, and then someone's music plays and a guy wins, and then it's just Owens versus Reigns in the final, and Reigns just beats him and wins the title.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Fuck.
I mean, that's what history has shown us in terms of how they want to book Reigns. Every time they tease some kind of shenanigans, it doesn't happen. He either gets. I mean, the story is kind of there that he's trying to do it the right way and getting screwed over, because that's what happened at Mania. And then, when else did he get? Didn't he? When else did he? Did he have another title shot since then?
No, the 4-way.
Right.
And then I don't remember what happened, because that was like Battleground, and who cares?
Yeah. Is that did Dean steal the belt? Is that when Dean had the belt by theft?
Maybe.
I
think Orton was there too, and we were pissy because it's like, oh, it's all three of the Shield, and it's in a match. They're almost doing the triple threat, but they added Orton. This is stupid. And it's one of those. I don't know.
Poor Orton. I don't know either.
No
Here's my other big problem with the tournament, though.
Tell me.
Why?
Just why?
Just why? Why? How hard would it be to tell us why these people were in the tournament? Why the fuck is Titus O'Neil in the tournament?
Yeah, see, the reason we loved the tournament coming out of Hell in a Cell to crown the number one
right.
contender is everyone deserved to be there. And this time, you look at the bracket, the fuck's Kalisto doing there?
It's all, I mean, it's part of the telegraphing, because all of those guys are there to get beat. And you know that. You look at it, you can tell almost everybody who's going to win in the first round.
Somebody's got to do the job, and so you find people who you're okay with them doing the job.
So instead of having interesting people, I mean, I don't want like a beat the clock challenge, but just give me a reason. It's weird that John Cena lost to Del Rio and disappeared, and we've never gotten an explanation. What the fuck is up with that?
That's true.
What other TV show would you watch where the lead character disappeared and it was never mentioned?
I love that. What the fuck is up with that? We just got unleashed Sean. We got some Sean time. Because that's the shit where I fall into the trap of, am I watching it wrong? Should I just enjoy this? And then they just fucking insult my intelligence. Yeah, it's insulting the shit they do sometimes. Yeah, you're right. They haven't said a fucking word about where John Cena went.
No, he just left. He lost and left.
Dude's held the title all year, and he just disappeared. No one fucking says anything. No one on this show is aware of anything else. The left hand never knows what the right hand is doing. And it's the most maddening thing on earth because, I mean, and we'll get to that with the main event, but fuck, you're right. Holy shit.
What legitimacy does this tournament have when they don't even bother to explain why Brock Lesnar and John Cena aren't in it?
Yeah.
I mean, those are your two top guys who have held the belt. I mean,
and keep in mind,
whoever wins is a paper champ because they haven't faced either one of those guys.
And keep in mind, Brock got fucked out of the title and got fucked out of his rematch with Rollins by Undertaker. Yep. You'd think now would be like the exact time he'd pop back up and go, "You motherfuckers know that's my title, right?" And try and stop me from taking it and let me in the tournament. And then he just squashes everybody. I mean, that at least gives you an interesting angle. But yeah, I don't know. It's also like, think of it how we think of it from storyline perspective, right? That's our angle that we always take. We're always about the story more than anything else in wrestling.
Yep.
That's the first thing we look for. So we look at the bracket and go, okay, well, why is he here? He doesn't belong here. This dude certainly doesn't belong here. What's going on here? And it's more notable for who's not there than who is there. Try to think of what they're thinking. Okay, so we want this to be the finals. We want this to be the semifinals. How are we going to get there? How are we going to do this? Okay, well, who's Del Rio going to beat in the first round? Okay, well, we need, you don't want to give him anybody that couldn't handle a loss right now, right? Or maybe you want to tease a Del Rio Kalisto kind of thing in the future, and Kalisto can also do the job and not be hurt too bad. So yeah, I guess we'll do that matchup. That's entirely possible. That's how they think of doing this. And they don't think of it from the same perspective that we do, which is, why the fuck is Kalisto even in the tournament? Right. And I don't think they care. And I don't just say think. Based on everything they've done, right. We fucking know they don't give a shit about those considerations. And that's always going to make us want to throw ourselves off a bridge. And it's always going to make... And they're just not going to spend more than a couple seconds thinking about it because we need someone to do a job. And I guess they would just come back with, would you rather they give away all these really... I mean, look, they're doing Roman Reigns Cesaro round 2, and I'm seeing people just bitching up a storm about it. And I'm even going, these people need to shut the fuck up already.
Yeah, that to me, we've established last week that I'm one of the world's largest Cesaro marks, but I love that idea. That splits... That if you're eventually gonna do a Reigns heel turn, that's a brilliant fucking match to have right now because that's gonna fucking rip the internet in two.
Yeah, and literally, and then other people are like, why do you need to do a tournament? Like, you fuckers realize that literally every sport decides its champion by after a long regular season, they have a tournament.
Yep.
And sometimes there are shitty first round games, like it's gonna happen this year because there's a shitload of shitty teams in the NFL. I mean, we're looking at motherfucking Vikings Giants in the first round, which is 38. I was going to say 38 people, but it's the NFL. 38 million will watch that damn game.
Oh, yeah.
No one's going to be entertained by it. It's a terrible game. But then round 2, you get the big dogs are in there. The really good teams show up after the buys, and you might fuck around and get a really cool Colts-Broncos rematch. You might get a lot of so it's stuff like that. And that happens too. So that's why it's good that, Roman Reigns and Cesaro are already running into each other. This could be really good. And also, again, I'm going to be that guy. All you Cesaro marks out there,
hey,
calm down. Because you are a fan of him, but that is not proportionate to how they feel about him and or how he's been booked. So his winning in his first round matchup, great. He needed help from whoever the hell Wayne Rooney is.
You are such a fucking dirty American.
That's what I said. Wayne Rooney slaps King Barrett, and I'm like, Handstock, do you know anything about soccer? I don't know. Maybe you could do a post on this. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. And why did King Barrett go down like he'd been shot? Like,
that was
apparently tapped you on the cheek, and he.
That was not even that slap wasn't even like Bree put a harder one on Stephanie last summer. That was not much of a slap.
Yeah, Bree and Steph were like fucking beating the fuck out of each other. This dude just taps King Barrett, and he takes a Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan 2005 SummerSlam dive.
He's still that angle's not over. Wade is currently combing Manchester looking for Wayne Rooney, whoever he is.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
But so he needed help to win the damn match. But he's in round 2, which is it's good. And you know what? That's a good matchup. You should also feel good, like, hey, this is a compelling, interesting thing. Maybe let's see if he can beat Reigns, kind of thing. Although, and you're so caught up in that's where we fuck ourselves over because we're so caught up in knowing their thinking or thinking of it the way they do instead of just, you wouldn't, there's no other way that you could do that. In sports, you would never have that thought. It would just be, this is a good game. Can't wait to see who wins. You don't really get that here because you're like, well, we know it's because it's scripted. We go, well, we know Reigns is probably going to win. And he almost certainly
probably.
Well, I mean, anything could happen, I guess. You adjust for the little one.
Oh, man.
Sounds like I will not hear this. Okay.
I will say, I will speak as on behalf of the Cesaro section, the global Cesaro section. I don't have any problem with it. I mean, it's
nerds.
I know. Not as good as Cesaro.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that match last night was fucking barn burner. I love Sheamus is a good wrestler with a shitty character. Sheamus. But here's the thing. I would be Sheamus versus Keith Slater.
Go ahead.
Calvin Axel is working the gimmick today too.
He's desperate.
I would be on board with everything they're doing with Sheamus. Sheamus. Cesaro. If I had any confidence that it was going to pay off in it. I mean, they're telling a good like underdog story with him where he's gritty and the crowd's behind him and he does amazing shit. But I just don't. It's not going to pay off. So he's just going to be. We're going to get a really good match with Reigns because Reigns is getting better in the ring every time he goes out there, and Cesaro is a fucking artist in the ring, and that's going to be. And it's. But I can see. I'm sure Vince's rationale for that was, oh, we'll put him over this guy, the Smarks love, and then they'll embrace him again.
Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
You're greatly entertained by him every time he's on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
I don't have a problem. I mean, I just would like to see the story.
You just said, well, they're not gonna pay it off, and I'm gonna be fucking pissed off about it.
Because just like you said, I am greatly entertained by him every time he's on screen, and that is part of why I watch wrestling. But storyline, like you said, is always my main thing. So I would like for there to be a story there.
And where does it have to go, though? Does he have to be pushed? That just feels like a mark.
He doesn't have to be pushed, but he has to overcome some meaningful obstacle. He has to at some point. I mean, he has. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could take the slant that it's real sport and not everybody wins, but
I guess that's my issue too. Is it feels a bit like a mark complaint, and I don't mean to say that in like you're a mark, but like it's he's not, my guy's not at the top. Fuck this. It's like he's entertaining, and he's on the show, being given the chance to be entertaining. How much more can we ask for? Like, that's great. Like, what's the difference between him doing that in the mid card and him doing that in the main event?
That to me doesn't matter. But what matters is they have full control over everything here, so they can. There's no reason that he shouldn't. I mean, maybe they're doing it with the Stardust angle, and that's going to go into a meaningful feud where they'll both look good, and then Cesaro will go over in the end.
Cesaro's the
guy.
How
confident are you in what I just said, based on how they treat Cody Rhodes and Cesaro? How confident are you that that's going to be a story that's going to get time to establish a conflict and have a meaningful resolution? Or is it going to have some sort of pre-show match that Vince didn't like, so then it's just going to get dropped?
Oh, it'll be a pre-show match for sure, but
I mean,
you know what though? He gets time, and they think of him as he's the guy who's going to give Reigns the good match in the second round.
Oh, I have no doubt that Vince thinks he's a very valuable piece. He uses him like that, but I'm just saying, and it takes Cesaro out of it. Pick somebody else. When you are scripting every element of your television show, there's no reason that anybody should just be like a spare part. You can have, I mean, the kind of stuff that UFC dreams of, that they could make every match be Rousey versus whatever that chick that talked about her dead dad and then got knocked the fuck out. Whatever her name was. Yeah. You could make every story like that because you control everything. You control everything the heel says, everything that the babyface does to react. You control all of it. So to just have guys floating around doing nothing, or girls, is stupid.
Stupid.
When we have this is why we don't have Sean time, because it makes my voice get all high and I don't like it.
I wasn't making fun of that. I just thought it was cute how you said it because you're cute. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just that complaint still is just that feels very. I don't know. You kind of. I mean, you know the score at this point, so it's like.
I know, and this is the reason why, just like you said earlier. I mean, the reason why they don't feel the need to explain to us where John Cena went or why anybody's in the tournament or anything else is because I'm still going to be fucking watching next week. So all of my sound and fury doesn't matter. It doesn't affect their bottom line at all. I think they are losing potential customers over time because of it. They're dropping ratings.
If you didn't work in it, would you?
I would probably have taken a break. I do come back time and time again. I have since I was fucking 8 years old. I mean, I stopped watching I caught the tail. I missed part of the Attitude Era because I was taking a break.
Wow.
So,
as much as everyone likes to act like that era was so wonderful, there was some fucking garbage television going on. It was covered up by the fact that they had a really big couple of stars.
Yep.
And that's what they don't have today to help cover up that they just still don't have a fucking clue on how to build shit properly. And let's get to that then. Bray Wyatt comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's laughing, and he's like, we're going to do a eulogy for these motherfuckers whose souls I've consumed. And again, they have disappeared. It's been weeks. We don't know where they are. I mean, when they played footage of Rollins hurting his knee, they blurred Kane out. So it was Rollins versus the blurred one. And then he hurt his knee. And so they really wanted to commit to this. And who knows? We were thinking, oh, they're tied up in a fucking swamp somewhere and they don't have their power, so that explains why they couldn't just summon fire and lightning to get out of there. Bray comes out, he says his stuff. Okay. Suddenly, a video package hits.
With a whirlpool at the start.
Who threw that up? Yeah, a little whirlpool.
That's how you knew it was serious.
I think it's supposed to hypnotize me to keep watching it instead of flipping to the far more compelling football game on ESPN.
Oh, shit.
And then like a 6-minute fucking package plays where it's just...
Which I think was a compilation of all the packages they had already showed all night. So.
Except in backwards form, because it's like the Brothers of Destruction being Brothers of Destruction. Yeah, blip, 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 blip. The old Ace Ventura gimmick. And then the gong hits, ask your friends to describe the first note in the Undertaker's theme, and if they call it a dong, punch them in the face. That's the gong. It's probably a fucking piano note is what I think it is, but either way. And then you think, okay, some mind games maybe, I don't know. What's Bray doing? Is he just trying to fuck with England? Is he going to then laugh, summon some more fire, and the show goes off the air? That'd be kind of interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Sean. Instead...
Oh, no.
Yes. Out walks Undertaker and Kane. Not only are they not injured in any way, not only are they not soulless, they are two healthy adult males with souls. Taker's got a great tan. So apparently maybe he was in the swamp. He was just fucking out there with no tree cover, and he didn't put on his sunscreen lotion. He's got a great fucking tan. Kane's looking good and healthy. And they confront Bray. But before they do, Taker raises the lights. What the fuck? There are like 38 problems already. It continues. They get in the ring. They have a brief little thing. Blah, blah, blah. That's the Wyatt gimmick that happens. That's what it sounds like. Blah, blah, blah. And then it comes back up, and old dum-dums are surrounding the ring.
Old dum-dums.
Old dum-dums. Rowan, Harper, and McBig as shit. And Taker and Kane decide, you know what? We've got souls and power. Fuck it. And they just start laying waste to everybody.
Kind of gently, though.
Yeah, it's real bad. The beatdown sucks because they're like 100,000 years old. They take out Harper. They take out Rowan for whatever reason. Old fucking Pew Beard McProbably has crabs just stands there.
It's back!
He stands there and lets it happen and just stares. He was probably went full Festus for a minute there.
You never go full Festus.
You never go full Festus. And then he waits until they're both completely free and clear and then climbs in the ring And I think he actually got the upper edge, the upper hand at one point, gained the edge, and then he
Teddy Bear
screamed.
McHugs a lot. He double clotheslined him.
He screamed. What did he scream? He screamed something. Like, I am the brother of destruction or some weird dumb shit. You need to take a bath. You are the odor of destruction, my guy. You dirty fucking giant baby. But then they of course, because they have souls, they get right back up. And they throw him out of the ring just as gently as possible. And then they climb out of the ring also gently. And they pick him up and you go, ooh, they're by the table. What's going to happen now? Are they going to choke slam this big fucker through the table? This is, wow, what great action. They decide to throw him over the table into two very well-cushioned chairs. It's absolute carnage out here. Oh, the humanity, Sean.
I think you're you're exaggerating. I think they gently rolled him off the table into the chairs.
They treated him like a baby, rolling him into his little gimmick that they sleep in. I can't remember what that's called. What is that called?
A crib?
A crib. Yeah, there you go.
The crib gimmick. This was...
They roll him into the crib gimmick. They get back in and they choke slam Bray Wyatt. And when they leave, they start summoning lightning and fire.
They got it back.
How the fuck is this possible? Bray Wyatt said he ate their souls and consumed their power. They shouldn't have any more power.
He's a liar.
This is the best explanation I've seen. Bray needs to come out and go, okay, you know what? It's truth time. It's truth time.
Truth time with Bray.
I didn't actually consume their souls. That's not possible. I tried, and I couldn't do it. And I didn't want to admit that I couldn't do it. So I paid a guy. I lied. They were just fireworks. That's the truth. You want to break me down? You want to break me down? That's the truth, okay? I lied, okay? Sorry. I don't, that's the only... I mean, of course, what's the explanation for, wait, I thought you ate their souls. What the hell's going on here? And then at some point you had to stop and realize how fucking dumb everything in the world is of WWE. But man, so I need an explanation because there's a million things wrong with this, just within the story and outside the story and with the booking. So if the idea is to build to a match, what the fuck? You just destroyed your heels. It's so funny because we go, Rollins is hurt. They don't have any heels. They're going to have to build a new big heel. Well, fuck, you're main eventing with a guy who just ate the souls of two baby faces who've been in the company for 20 years, and they just killed the guy. They just had the good guys come back 2 weeks before the scheduled match and just beat the shit out of him. And his monsters. You just completely invalidated his monsters. And you completely invalidated the kidnapping. This man has kidnapped like 6 people, and every one of them has just strolled right the fuck back into Raw. Like, later on. What are you doing after the... Does he kidnap him and take him to Dairy Queen and buy him a cone? And then just go, on your way, little guy. Hopefully you don't come back. Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the ass at some point.
I think he just takes him to catering. He just takes him right backstage. Like, what do you want? Does he have anything?
He finds a dark
corner. It's the world's famous kidnapping.
He finds a dark corner in the building, and he's like, I'm gonna let you off here, and I'm gonna trust that you're not just gonna come strolling back in when it's my segment and beat the fuck out of me. I'm gonna trust that that's not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, Bray grew up in the business, and he's been watching like Vince and everybody throw people out of the building for years, and they always get back in. So he just figures, fuck it, there's no point.
Just make it easy on him. It's okay. I've got 3 monsters who are going to back me up and make sure I don't get hurt. Oh, no. Throw into the well-cushioned chairs.
God bless Michael Cole on this show because, I mean, that poor bastard had to sell two of these things that made no sense because he also had to act like the PTO on the table was somehow horrible. We didn't even
talk about that.
No! Not the PTO on the table!
What in the world? Hang on, we've got to
Have
keep
mercy,
this table
Paige.
sturdy for when Dum Dum McBiggie shit gets thrown over it and rolled into his crib.
His sleeping gimmick. Can we talk about how Taker looked? Because
Bald spot was in effect.
Woo! The hairline.
Orange as shit.
Grandpa, he's got his leather pants pulled up to about his nipples, I think. He looks like bad grandpa.
That's what happens when you're 70 years old.
I'm not blaming. I mean, I'm on my way there myself, but it was not a good look.
Kane was not a good look. Kane looks pretty. That's one thing we could always say about Kane is the guy looks pretty good. Of course, he's got the gimmicked hair.
And maybe that's what Undertaker needs. He had his serious mask on too, the dark.
Yeah. And well, his gimmicked hair is much better than Undertaker's old gimmicked hair, which was clearly bullshit and hilarious and distracted from the match they were trying to build. They're not trying to build a match here. They're just, it's over. This feud is done. They got their revenge. Period. We're good. We're good now. Everyone just move on. I hope they do. I hope they come out next week and they're Brothers of Destruction are like, well, we thought we had a challenge, but we just beat the shit out of them for just whatever after we were kidnapped. And I can't get over this.
I think they should just leave like John Cena. He's just gonna leave, not come to his 25th anniversary party.
They just don't bother to fucking or care to explain anything. Again, he's just stop kidnapping people. You're so bad at what comes next, dude. You don't know how to hold hostages, I guess. You don't
They only figured out how to take hostages.
He needs lessons from Undertaker. Undertaker kidnapped Stephanie.
Mm-hmm. If Undertaker kidnaps you, you stay kidnapped.
You stay kidnapped until Steve Austin shows up.
That's right.
You need to hear that glass shatter and stunners happening before you're okay. And they got all the way to the point where they were getting ready to crucify her and marry her to a demon of the dead. And it was like they were just
that's a good plan.
They were just about to say "I do" before the old Stone Cold Stunner started going around.
What was even Bray's? I mean, what's the plan? What was the plan here?
Yeah, what were you doing? If the idea was to take their power, but here's what's fucked up. If he didn't eat their souls, and they said on commentary multiple times that they have their souls.
Mm-hmm.
They look great, whatever. That's something Saxton was saying. You're adult, Saxton. It's not that was never the it's never the thing that was in question. Son of a bitch. And then if he was still able to summon the fire and light, we joke about he paid the pyro guy. He paid a fireworks guy. We joke about it. They're not going to say that. How did he summon the fire and lightning? Bray can too? Or what? Maybe. When you consume a soul, you have its power for only a certain amount of time? This is why you have to explain shit.
Bray he didn't read the fine print on the soul-consuming power assumption contract.
What in the world? Take the time to explain some shit. Now, so this is a disaster from a storyline perspective, from a character perspective, from you're trying to build a heel perspective, from you're trying to build to a match perspective. This is basically a disaster. This is why it's a good thing I wasn't writing the Raw recap, because I would have fucking buried this situation. I might do it anyway. I'd have given this show a fucking D for that last segment alone. Holy shit. I literally don't care at all about any of them anymore.
This is what I was,
Good job, because fuck all these people. This is it was dumb as shit originally, but I'll go with it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, again, your commentary team, the last we knew, these dudes had their souls eaten. They just come strolling right the fuck in and go, oh shit, 2 soulless dudes just walked in here. Fucking everybody run. We don't know what they could do. Everyone run. They're unstable. This shit is it's not okay. Nope. Oh my, the dead man, the demon from hell, what could happen here? And just, they beat up people very gently. They made fighting love to the Wyatt family.
See, you weren't expecting that, though. You weren't expecting the most gentle wreaking of havoc you've ever seen.
Even Bray, like when Undertaker's bringing the lights up, why wasn't he like, how did you do that? How is this happening? It's just
He knows that he didn't really steal their souls. He just
he paid.
gimmicked the. I don't know. I mean, how? I mean, I don't even know. I was going to say how cool would it be, but at least it would have been something if Taker and Kane showed up and Bray controlled them. That's like a cliffhanger ending. That's like, I'm going to fucking tune in next week to find out what the fuck's going on here. Not only can he summon lightning and fire, but now he's got these two giant old people standing around ready to do his bidding.
Yeah, if Undertaker and Kane got in the ring and stared him down all mean, and then like got down and did the Taker pose in front of him.
Yep.
And then like Wyatt like turns to the left to look at the hard camera and has like a smile and winks, and the show goes off the air.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great ending.
Well, he produces the fucking urn. I mean, where's the urn?
Nope. WWE formula, baby. 50-50. You kidnap them.
So what do you think's going to happen? So is next week Bray's going to beat them up, and then on Survivor Series they're going to beat Bray up? That's what's going to happen?
Couldn't give a shit less. Let's talk about Divas.
Nice. That's what we call a segue in the business, everybody.
I don't know what's going to happen, and I literally could not give any less of a fuck what they do. You know what I hope they do? I hope they fucking bury Bray Wyatt so far down that he has to come back as a new character. Because his character, dude, I'm done with it. Bro, your shit is... you got me talking Vince Russo, bro. Your shit, bro, is... your fucking... His character is such a disaster at this point. He's literally never done anything right. I think he beat the Ryback once. And no one gives
he went over Dean Ambrose, who is apparently we're supposed to take as a WWE champion candidate right now. So he did that.
Dean is in the process of trying to overcome his own little poor bad booking. And then I wouldn't even say bad booking, but you just get beat all the time. It matters. The WWE land, they think losses don't matter. You know what matters? Kidnappings. And if you're... if you... If you kidnap a guy and he just walks the fuck back in the next week, fuck you, dude. I can't take you seriously. I just can't. You're so cool kidnapping dudes, but you can never finish the kidnapping proper. I don't.
Can we get Canaanite or Hollywood Wallace or somebody to look at kidnapping percentages, like who has successfully kidnapped people? Because I think Bray's numbers are suck.
Well, I guess it's a successful kidnapping because he got away and no one did anything about it.
That's true. He did successfully. That's what I said. He can execute phase 1 of the kidnapping model, but then he doesn't do anything else right. He just thinks all you have to do is carry them up the ramp, and then he thinks he's done.
And now what's the next crime called? You're holding hostages? What's that called?
Yeah, I don't. What do they call it? That's what Bram did. What's it called?
Oh shit! Oh man! Why are we laughing about that?
I don't know. Because I knew you were gonna, even before when I just thought to say it, I knew you were gonna go, "Oh, Sean."
That's what Bram did.
Wrongful imprisonment or something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's probably exactly right. Wrongful imprisonment. So Bray is an exceptional kidnapper.
Mm-hmm.
He is awful at wrongfully imprisoning people.
He's a bad jailer.
Amazing. Yeah. Work on your imprisonment skills, Bray, and maybe come back. maybe don't try to kidnap people until you know how to keep them and hold them so they can't fuck you over later.
And know why you're kidnapping them too. That would help.
So not only is he, yeah, whatever. He's incompetent.
We don't care. We've already done with that.
That's reached the point that it doesn't matter. I guess we should talk about Sean.
Yes.
You touched on it earlier. Tell me, why is it that a PTO on the table is more effective? Why is it that a PTO on the table is more effective than a PTO in the ring?
Or on the floor? I don't know. Anywhere. This is the kind of thing that if William Regal had been on color commentary, he would have had a reason. He would have come up with something, the elevation, you get lightheaded more easily on a table than you would on the floor. I don't know.
You're closer to the people and therefore more embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. You're farther. What Charlotte has to run an extra 5 feet to rescue you. So Paige was going to be able to keep the hold on longer.
It's going to take more time for Charlotte to get to her, so it's just a good tactical advantage for Paige. Yes. What's funny about it, too, is Paige has a move that, if executed through a table, would fucking blow the roof off the place. Yep. Maybe that's the point. Maybe their thinking is, let's do some monumentally stupid shit, and maybe England won't cheer for her. And they edit the shit out anyway, but yeah, just like, dude, the Rampage on the table would be a dope spot. Well, let's do a submission on the table. That'll be effective, and then just no one explains it. Cole's like, "It's how dare you?"
Cole sold the shit out of it. He was outraged.
Cole sells all the wrong shit. Cole is an idiot. He is just. Everyone's an idiot. Everyone in WWE is marked by the fact that you're all stupid as fuck. Like none of you have a clue about,
including all of us anything. Watching. Oh,
Sheamus is walking around hoisting the Money in the Bank briefcase. No one has the title. There's a vacated title. As I tweeted, I said, the "you look stupid" chants have never been so on point than for Sheamus holding up the Money in the Bank briefcase while the title's vacated.
Well, doesn't he have to have someone to cash in on?
You know what? There was a big debate about that on the Twitter machine.
I must have been doing something else.
It's not in the contract. If you look in the contract, it does say it needs to be a match, but that's a technicality that you'd think you'd at least try to contest it.
Hire David Otunga. Get his ass out there.
Fucking call Otunga and be like, why can't I just cash in now and they give me the belt?
Yeah, you'd win by count out when Rollins didn't show up or whoever.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm sure there's some legalese, there's some loopholes.
Well, that's another thing. That's just like, fucking explain it. Make up some bullshit and tell me.
It would take 10 seconds.
Right. Instead of screaming,
can't cash in when the title's vacated.
Michael.
Instead, he's in the tournament to win the title.
Taker looks good, Michael.
That's another amazing thing. Why wouldn't they book a segment where they're like, Sheamus, you're in the tournament? He's like, why? Like, well, because it's for the title. Don't you want to win the title? I have the briefcase.
Right. Why do I want to fucking fight 4 matches when I can just wait and fight 1?
Exactly. What the fuck? None of this makes any fucking sense. Do you people use that gimmick in your head called the brain?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Mark it down. Not using the brain. Mark it down. I haven't been working any of those gimmicks in our shows lately, but yeah.
Well, we did. We brought Big Ass McStrongman back tonight, though.
Oh, there you go.
Out of nowhere.
We're gonna when we do shirts, we're gonna have to do Mark it down.
Mark it down. Not as Brooklyn on the back. Counted 6 on the sleeve. It says 6 botches.
Counted 6 botches. You're 6 botches in it.
What the fuck else happened on this show? Anything? New Day was good. Yay.
Shit. New Day's not in the tournament for reasons I don't understand. And immediately they're already working with the Usos, although in a 6-man. Mm-hmm. Wow. WWE, they're really good at doing shit and make you not want to watch what comes next. I mean, they really are.
That's their mutant power. They can do shit that makes you not care.
They're really good at setting things up to make me care the least about what comes next. WCW was like, I can remember they'd go off the air with, "We're out of time, tune in next week." And it was always some exciting thing, somehow, even though it was just the NWO beating the fuck out of somebody. But it was like, Sting would show up occasionally. There's some manner of intrigue in some way. Yeah, how intriguing would it have been to go off the air with Bray now is in control of Undertaker and Kane and Big Ass and Luke Harper and Rowan. The WWE's fucked. At some point, you'd think Triple H would get worried about this. But no, you know what? Maybe Triple H is smarter than the rest of us because he watched the kidnapping and thought, yeah, but he sucks at wrongful imprisonment, so we're fine. They'll get out. Everything will be cool. And sure enough, what a stupid show. What a stupid fucking program we watch and talk about.
Here's how you know it wasn't good. Bill Hanstock gave it a B.
A B and not an A+++.
That's right. That's right. If Bill Hanstock B is like a Geno, like I don't know. Geno just comes to your house. You ask for a Raw review, and Geno comes to your house and bulldogs on your computer screen. That's what.
Yes, that's the Raw. That's review. That bulldog shit on your computer is better for your life than this Raw would have been. There you go.
I see. I don't know what the fuck to do with this company because I watched it. There was stuff I enjoyed. It wasn't as good as like the last couple of weeks have been, but it wasn't the worst thing ever. But
it actually wasn't a terrible show.
No, but you can't put any thought to it. You can't think about what you saw at all because it all falls apart.
Yeah, but even a game between a 2-5 Bears team and a 2-6 Chargers team was, it's just there's no choice there. There's no option. I mean, I took the night off from it. I tried to keep up, with tweets and flipping back and forth and stuff, but that's why Handstock did the Raw recap. The Bear game was on, and I'm not gonna pretend like I care enough about Raw to skip the Bears game. That's the perks of being the boss. I get to make someone else do the shit. So it's like, yeah, and the football game is so much better. And if I didn't have the work stuff, I can't imagine that I would make the decision to stick with a company. At least with football, I don't know what's going to happen. It could be a blowout, and that would suck. Right. It could also be a really good game, and Jay Cutler could engineer a game-winning drive, and then Lamar Houston shows up out of nowhere with the pass rush we haven't had all year, and we win the game. That's great. Made me happy. Feel good. And even if they would have lost, this was a good game. With Raw, you just know they're going to do the stupidest fucking thing they could do. What is the dumbest approach we could take here? And let's get even dumber than that. Is basically what they seem to be doing. Like, again, dude, really, what in the fucking world were they thinking? There's no reason to have Undertaker work Survivor Series now. That match is fucking gone. And not only that, if you wanted to build to Undertaker versus fucking Braun Pants McShitstain, that's gone now too. You just chucked him. You just chucked him like he was fucking Lucha Dragons. You just treated him like fucking Kai and Tai. Old Taka Michinoku.
Lucha Dragons are going to make it into the second round of the WWE title tournament, though. So
yeah, why aren't these big fucks in the tournament?
Yep.
They're dominant forces, and they don't care about the title? Well, I guess that makes sense.
You can't. There's nobody to kidnap. They're all about kidnapping, and there was nobody there to kidnap.
They're too caught up in Bray Wyatt's brainwashing to enter into a tournament. That would mean they'd be thinking for themselves. I'm fine with explanations like that, and we don't always need those explanations. We can
true
ourselves. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But this was a bad way to. And
I'll give them. They didn't know last week. They didn't know they were going to have to book this show because they thought they had Seth Rollins.
So no, I don't think they changed anything in regard to Undertaker and Wyatt.
Oh, you don't think so?
Absolutely not. I don't think they changed a fucking thing. Rollins is not that important to the process. It's the title.
I don't understand. You built an entire WrestleMania feud without bringing Undertaker back, but you couldn't build the Survivor Series without running him out there?
Well, he was got to be there, remember, because they advertised him for SmackDown tomorrow.
He could have done house shows, and then he could have been blurred out. He could have, we could have.
He's there, use him. He said he'd be used, and he's there. He had to be there for SmackDown, so fuck it, let's just use him on Raw. I mean, it'd be good. And you know what?
But that's so fucking short-sighted. I mean,
I agree. The one way this works is for the live crowd.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Cool moment for the live crowd, but everyone else gets fucked over. Everyone at the next show is fucked over. And what the hell are they going to do with him on SmackDown? Are they just going to keep beating the shit out of the Wyatts? Probably. They'll probably have a match and just beat him clean.
They're probably going to have him talk.
Might as well just bury Bray Wyatt. I hope everyone in the world beats him every match. I hope he just works every match and just loses every time. AKA exactly what's happening now. What a fucking stupid thing. I just don't even. What a stupid show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta get Handstock or somebody on here to argue with us, but he doesn't like to argue.
No, we don't need anyone on here to argue with us. We need to keep laughing about how stupid this show is. That's all we can.
That's true. As long as we laugh, that's true.
As long as there's still laughter to be had. Yeah, there was literally nothing else on this show.
Yeah, I don't know. What else? Is there anything else we need to talk about in the world of wrestling? I don't know. Oh, do you want to talk about Mex America? No.
I hope both of our no's came over right there.
What else happened?
Hulk Hogan discovered Kevin Owens.
It's true. He is good. That guy is talented.
Yeah, I don't want to brag or anything.
He can't help. That motherfucker cannot help himself.
What a stupid man. He is. I guess that's one of my new sayings. That what a stupid, and insert whatever stupid.
It's certain noun after whatever that word gimmick where you're talking about a thing.
Hulk Hogan is just absolutely delusional at this point. He's gone beyond worker and into paranoid schizophrenia. And which is an insult to paranoid schizophrenics everywhere, because Hulk Hogan is fucking psychotic, which is an insult to psychos.
He's probably a sociopath. He just can't. He doesn't know what's true and what's false. And
absolutely a sociopath. He's not even psychopathic, because that would. I think he probably cares about.
I mean, it. I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't know. He's got a deluded sense of self.
Here's the thing too with the way they did the Bray thing. Do you think they'll create a heel out of this? Do you think Owens will become a heel out of this? I mean, remember, he's still
like a mega heel.
He's still a fat guy, and they don't like fat guys.
Yeah, that's what. As great as his little post-match video was yesterday, which it was pretty fucking epic.
Every single post-match video he ever does is epic.
Yeah, I just think he shouldn't lay down in catering. I think that's probably giving Kevin Dunn some ammunition.
Well,
I even said that about the Hogan thing. I feel like that's a good sign that Hogan wants to hop on your bandwagon and pretend he's part of making you. Means, well, I still think Hogan is a savvy. He might be a stupid man, but he's a savvy political operator.
Okay.
In terms of backstage wrestling, so the fact that he sees.
Right, but politically right now, his name is the worst to be attached to.
True, but I'm saying that the fact that Hogan looks at Owens and says, "Oh, this guy's going to be big. I want people to think I had anything to do with it." You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he sees the tea leaves and thinks that that's what they're doing. They're going to go with him, and so they're trying to.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to co-opt some heat off of the hottest guy there is right now. Because they're definitely. I don't know if they're going to put. I seriously doubt they're going to put the belt on Owens at this point. But he's he's a made man already, really.
What an operator. Man, Hogan is really something. You almost got to respect it.
I mean, because I don't know how that interview went down. You couldn't tell but it seems like he brought up Kevin Owens. That was the guy he picked to say, "Oh, I spotted him."
Yeah, I think he literally said the words, "I don't want to brag about it."
Yeah. That's how he started.
I believe he did it twice. And again, I don't want to brag. Which means brag.
I'm about to brag, right?
Me, everyone look at me. I'm the one that saw, And he's like, I don't care how he looks. He's a great heel. You're right. But the dude who is in charge of making him a great heel does care about how he looks.
Yeah,
it's just the case. So,
but like you said with Cesaro, I think it's very clear that they see he's safe as at worst upper mid Carter guy that they will slot into the main event when they need to, because they're already kind of doing it, which is ridiculous. That's crazy. He hasn't been in the company on television for a year yet, and we are assuming that he is in the final four of this tournament for the title.
The booking's really good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gotten. Well, they had that period where they were doing the fat.
Right after the Cena feud, yeah, he sort of got fat joked and was just doing walkout wins and that kind of stuff or whatever.
Which the reason it's a problem is the people saying the fat jokes are the baby faces. People are supposed to hear. You're supposed to be.
And the commentators, yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to co-opt that message. You're a fat piece of shit. And which is unfortunate. But it didn't matter. He's still, I don't know, I guess. But that's the thing too with the company like this, and with Vince McMahon at the helm, they change so often. It's just it's 1 week to the next, where it's like 1 week they're really high on a guy, and the next week they're not. You see that's happened with Cesaro multiple times, where they seemingly were high on him and ready to push him, and then they stopped that. So it's like for us, it's like, well, where's the story? They do this, and then this just disappears, and it's like because they look at it still from a very non-Lucha Underground perspective, where it's like everything I think they'd be better off doing it like we're talking, not just because we know better, but in any story, you find characters to connect to within a story because you like the story. The story is the thing that's fucking carrying it, and it's helping the characters to become what they need to be. And you can get around a lot of shit with this exact, like, you wouldn't need Roman Reigns to go out and just go, okay, we're going to give you a stupid ass promo to go out there and say. And even Batista, right? Like Batista and Austin were very recently have just a damning indictment of creative to say, I couldn't exist in this format. I can't do this. This is ridiculous. They don't have any creative freedom to do anything. And so it's the worst of both worlds. You're not giving them any creative freedom to go out and just get themselves over, but you're scripting them within non-stories. How is this supposed to work for anybody? There's no story to tell, but you're still giving them a script as if there is, because you're not telling stories. It's horseshit. I don't know. I don't get it.
I mean, like I said, Lucha Underground and even to a certain extent NXT masks and the problems they might have with their wrestling by telling a really compelling story.
Yeah.
And WWE at this point, it's odd because I mean, you didn't like a couple of years ago, you didn't think of WWE as being like a work rate company, but they're practically. I mean, they mask a lot of storytelling problems with really good matches. They got a lot of talented people that they can run out there, and they can give Cesaro versus Sheamus, or the U.S. title open challenge. You can give those matches 20 minutes and wow us with that, and we forget about the fact that none of this shit makes any sense.
Yeah, Cena's indie worker gimmick over the past year has been very useful.
Yeah,
in overshadowing the fact that no one has a clue what they're doing.
Exactly. There's no end game to any of this.
Yeah, literally going anywhere. We're just trying to get to the Rumble, guys. Just deal with it. It's basically what they're telling us.
And then we can complain about that.
Yeah, we're just trying to get to the Who wins the Rumble before we get out of here? At this point, the way everything is laid out, there's no That's what sucks too, and this is why it's a problem.
Whoever doesn't win out of Ambrose or Reigns at Survivor Series.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is why it's a problem that you bury the fuck out of Bray Wyatt all the time. And they didn't bury him last night. No, not really, but like kind of. You kind of bury a guy when you do that shit to him all the time.
Yeah, he. I mean, I don't know if bury is the right word, but he's not
buried because he can't climb back up over what you've thrown on top of him, which is buried.
He's been presented in a way that I don't take his character seriously anymore.
That's buried to me, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. If Lance Storm wants to lecture me on what bury means, I don't know. This is what I mean.
Yeah, I get it, but yeah, that's we'll co-opt it for ourselves, motherfuckers. Yeah. What's up, Lance Storm?
Fuck you, yeah, whatever you nerds call it. We don't even use the word crib. We just call it the gimmick baby sleeping.
The sleeping gimmick for babies. That's right. And for McToddler face.
Big cuddle McToddler face.
All right.
Oh, I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know. We probably got to get off of here and write SmackDown spoilers. I don't like when they go to Europe.
Are they taping right now?
Soon, right? I mean,
you're gonna have to do that because I got to go get myself some lunch.
Fuck,
dude. We started at noon. I wake up. I'm just here to kick ass, sleep till noon.
That's probably why the bosses are coming to me asking about replacing you.
That's ooh.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We're gonna talk about that offline.
Like that. All right.
You're the one that picked that anecdote out of the blue. That was
I feel weird. Like you're a Bray Wyatt level liar. So
I never said I ate anybody's soul. All right, I feel like we're kind of going nowhere at this point. So I'm just gonna say the thing, and then we're gonna go, and everybody else will have to deal with it. The fucking thing.